The very last thing, guys, Big Rab is a big Celtic man, Keith. He says you were talking rubbish last night by saying that Manny Fernandez could be sold for millions by Rangers. I think it's worth mentioning that reports down south today say Arsenal are keeping a very close eye on the Rangers defender. And for what it's worth...
What's this guy saying?
He says, well, how much is Engels going for, Keith, after your rubbish last night on the Rangers defender? And I would
not even say the boy's name.
I know. Emmanuel Fernandez.
One Big Rab. They're better than that.
I think.
And by the way, if you're going to spell Engels' name properly, please.
There you go, Rab.
Right.
I think he's going to make Rangers an absolute fortune as well.
I think he will as well. I mean, we Scott put and I'll just clarify this. Scott McDermott put a £20 million fee in his head last night. Not me. I questioned Scott and said, are you sure that that's the right sort of a figure? And possibly it is. If you look at the calibre of club that are meant to be monitoring the situation, if 2 or 3 of these prove to be true and come to the table, then you do start to look at big numbers. But yeah, I thought Nottingham Forest bidding 25. I thought there was a bit of desperation in that bid for Arne Engels. I think Mick was right earlier when he said it would be a number closer to 20. Maybe Rangers would be doing well to get 20 for a player that, you know, hasn't got a big back catalogue behind him, came from the lower leagues in England. I know that now he's been recognised at full international level by Nigeria. That'll help. And he's certainly had a very good, but it's only really been a very good 6 months. It's not as if he's come in and hit the ground running at the start of the season and been an ever present. He didn't look convincing at the start when he came into Russell Martin's team. Nobody did. But I think my own view with Fernandez is that Rangers should be looking to keep him for another season, because I think they might get optimum money for him after a full domestic and European season next season. I think they might be then looking at a good number if they sold him this summer, but they might be looking at double that number if they keep him for a full season.
I think if he plays well in the Champions League, maybe even goes into the late stages of the Europa League, I think he could make a lot of money for Rangers. I don't think 20 million is unreasonable at all, to be honest with you.
At the moment, I think it's fanciful. I mean, he's only made 28 appearances with Rangers. So it's very early days, and he is 25 this year. So he's not 19, 20.
He's not a kid. Yeah,
he's not a kid anymore. So we're not talking about this up and coming youngster we're talking about ceilings. So he's centre halves, I think, tend to get better late 20s anyway. So there is time, as you say, if he goes and plays well in Europe next year, catches the eye, then yes, you could be talking, because that kind of profile, his physique, the way he dominates in the air, he's a threat in both boxes. Absolutely, you can talk those numbers. Not right now, but after another, I would be saying to him, stick tight, have a good season next season, and see where he sits next summer. Because at that point, he will be 25, 26. Then you go and think, right, go and get his 20 million quid or beyond. And I could see it then. Maybe not now.
It's all about, see, to get this, and this is what we come back to the Tavernier thing that I was saying earlier when Nathan Patterson was still an option for Rangers. It's about when you're trying to get the player trade model right, a lot of it comes down to timing. You've got to be clever enough to work out the optimum moment. I think Rangers could make turn a quick coin on Fernandez this summer. I'm sure they could. But I think if you're looking to optimise it, I think, and he shouldn't be in a rush to move on. He's still, it's not as if we've talked about players at Celtic that think they're going for a 2-year project to then move on, then find out 2-year becomes 3-year, 3-year becomes 4-year against their will. I don't think that's the case with Fernandez. I think you could say to him, look, son, do you know what? You would benefit from one full season, and then next summer, let's see who comes in for you. I think that would benefit all parties actually for that one.
Well, look, on that note, guys,